Very, very interesting. Quality game. Two friendly games against Cameroon as they keep on preparing for the WAFCON, that is Women's African Cup of Nations that will take place in Morocco. And we are still having reports around where the WAFCON would happen or not. There are still debates around that, but let's see what happens around that. But let's talk about the game, and let's talk about our three best players from the game against Cameroon, where the SuperFalcons of Nigeria defeated the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon by 3 goals to 1. And today we'll talk about the three best SuperFalcons players in that game, and of course, I will explain why those players the best players for that particular game. Just for the second game, which is when Nigeria defeated the country they call Cameroon in that friendly game. All right, let's move straight and talk about those players, and let's start up with the first on my list, or the third on my list, with number 3 position. We have Jennifer Echegini. Yes, Jennifer Echegini did so well in that particular game. Yes, and she has become an important part of the Super Falcons team from the last World Cup in Morocco, where she had this very, very great football, great play, and everything. And many will confess that she has just become that consistent player, giving us 100% football and everything. Of course, remember the goal she scored at WAFCON. But of course, in the friendly game, we saw how she mounted the midfield, controlled the midfield well, and of course gave the assist. And she can now be called that that lady in the midfield that can create those passes and also move into the striking position. So she will be on our list. All right, she's a number 3 on the list, and straight to number 2 player at the game against Cameroon. Of course, who will take the number 2 position? Nobody else but my very own Rinsola Babajide. Now, Rinsola Babajide has become the love of most Nigerians. The super striker and the Roma, FC player, has continued to show why she remains that player that everybody just loves to see what she does now in the two games against Cameroon. She proved herself well, but most particularly in the game against the second game against Cameroon that took place yesterday, we saw how Rinsola Babajide was able to help the Super Falcons win that game, giving an assist and also scoring a goal. And Rinsola Babajide is now proving to us that yes, she's that striker who can play and score goals. Now, the great part of Rinsola Babajide, which I always explain, is that Rinsola Babajide can be able to play from the wing side. She can also play as your number 9. So she is that very great player to understand how to do all the movement around. So for me, she's in the number 2 position. And of course, thumbs up for Rinsola Babajide. And our number 1 position is nobody else but who else? Let's get the drum rolling. Michelle Alozie. Michelle Alozie, of course, is in the number 1 position. She scored a goal in that particular game. And someone is asking me, why is Michelle the number 1 player on the list? And I'll explain to you why now. Michelle Alozie has remained very constant for Super Falcons. The fact that she plays as a defender, she still has a chance to go forward and do those goal scoring things. And it happened again, yesterday, where she was able to go forward and attack. And that's why I pick her in that position as number 1 position, because the fact that she is a defender, a fullback, but she's still available to score goals. We also remember her scoring that important goal that led Nigeria to the finals in the WAFCON, where she scored the only goal. And yesterday also, she was available to score that goal, the third goal for the Super Falcons, which was very, very important. As a defender, being always available, not just giving good pullouts, but being available to give the headers, and she gave that header to help the Super Falcons win that game yesterday. So there are our three best players from the game against Cameroon. First of all, we had our very, very own Jennifer, who is now the midfield maestro. Also, we had Rinsola Babajide, who is now the striker, who can, of course, play from the wing. And we had the defender, who is also striking for the Super Falcons, scoring goals, Michelle Alozie. All right, until we see next time, of course, don't forget to follow button, subscribe button, and of course, like and comment. Who are your three best players from Super Falcons game against Cameroon? I'll see you later.